Are you watching Channel Zero yet? Because if you're not, why are you not watching this show? Oh my God. God, it's so good. Now, let's get into this episode. So, Zoe thinks that she's cured. And in this episode, we see that she's worse than ever. And this is obviously a spoiler discussion. I think I put that in the comments, but you never know. This whole idea, like, I completely understand where Zoe is coming from in her decision to join the Peach family, because she is just a mental wreck. And this family has offered, the pregnant mom of the Peach family comes and offers her, a family who accepts her for not only her mental state, but her new cannibalistic urges, which are, their fault. But she thought she was cured. Now she's worse than ever. And she has the ability to have a new family. I mean, we see in previous episodes that she had her mother lose her mind and stab her. I mean, that would screw up anybody. And now she has this woman who's come to her and has offered her this new family, one that's going to accept her for everything she is. Even though after her cure she gets worse and she has cannibalistic urges, she found a family that's going to take her in and accept all of those things. And I completely can see why she would go with them. So at the end of this episode, I was just like, yeah, like when her sister runs up, and she's like, Zoe, and she like kind of just looks back, and it's just like, I have no other choice here. Like, you don't accept me for who I am. You're trying to fix me, and they're just taking me in as is. And I got that, and I felt that. Once again, the dude in the suit is creepy as shit. That dance scene that he gives while, Joseph Peach is playing the piano with that little freaking deformed Jason Takes Manhattan looking kid. For any of you who knows what the hell I'm talking about there. One of the weirdest endings in Friday the 13th history. And there was a lot of them. And we get to see Zoe eating herself. I mean, her hunger is just insatiable. And we can see that retained throughout the Peach family. That guy, like, slits the guy's throat and he's laying on the ground. His face is down. The puddle of blood's coming to him. And he's just, like, licking the blood. That was awesome. This is so gross. I was really proud of the cop in this episode because... And one really funny thing, actually, is like when he comes up on his dad in that public place and he's like, you snuck up on me like a ninja. I laughed out loud because I was like, you're wearing headphones. You were near trance. Anyone wearing headphones, you can sneak up on. I was like, he could have fucking came up on you in a bulldozer and you wouldn't have hurt him. Snuck up on you like a ninja. That was so silly. But I was proud of him because, like, he had this creepy freaking... I gotta learn this guy's name. I don't even know if we know it yet, do we? The guy in the business suit? We might, but I can't remember it. He sneaks up on this guy, or he has him dead to rights, I'm sorry, and he doesn't shoot him. Like, he has a knife and it's like pointed at him. He could have shot him and say, hey, he was coming at me with a knife. Like, he had all the excuse in the world. So that would have been the perfect time to shoot him. But then when he's in the back of the squad car at the end and he's just talking... and he shot him out of nowhere. I just wasn't expecting it in the moment. I cheered out loud. Like, yes, I know it's not going to do anything. These guys are like ghosts or whatever, so he'll probably come back anyway. But he doesn't know that. So I was just really proud of him in that moment. Like, yes, 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 fucking shoot this creep. And someone corrected me on here, and this is why I like this, this channel and doing these videos and stuff, is just to talk to you guys and for you guys to correct me or... to give me a different spin on things. I don't do this to just tell you guys, like, what's up? And then you're like, oh, okay. Like, comment and whatnot. But yeah, last week I said that he called him a rat. And someone in the comments corrected me and said, no, he called him a mouse. And as soon as they read it, I was like, oh yeah, it's a mouse. Damn it. Just little things like that. You just mix them up. So thank you. Always correct me and add to the conversation. Try not to be a dick about it, but hey, who knows? And I like how Alice is in this, being chased by her schizophrenia. Like, basically, Joseph Peach has pulled her schizophrenia out of her brain. And I guess she's kind of the cured one at the moment. But her schizophrenia is just chasing her around. And that's the way mental illness feels. I mean, I suffer from some things. I have anxiety disorders and whatnot. And I totally understand that. Like, you just feel like you're constantly on the run from it. Like, you don't want it. And it won't leave you alone. And no matter what fucking, as fast as you run or what corners you hide behind or whatever, it's gonna find you. And I like how the thing is on its like back haunches and it's like running at her. Reminds me of Styles in the Mouth of Madness. But I don't know. I just feel like that speaks to anyone with mental illness. Like, even when you feel like you're cured, it's just lingering around any corner. I've had those moments where I'm like, all right, I'm cured. And then you just kind of hear rumblings in your head and you're like, oh shit, it's coming back. And I just love that she's chasing. And there's nothing scarier to me personally than losing your mind. Like, just losing yourself, not being able to control your actions or just not having a sense of reality, just depersonalization, not remembering who you are or what you are, or not knowing where you are or what you're doing. Like, when she's running from the thing and then she ends up back in her room and she's like, what the fuck, how'd I get here? That would be horrifying. I mean, it's just losing a sense of yourself is the scariest thing in the world. I mean, I think that's why psychological horror works so well in longevity, because like most horror movies, the monsters that come at you, you're scared in the theater, and then when you leave, it just kind of dissipates really quickly. But something psychological like The Shining or whatnot, it follows you for days, weeks, years after you watch them, because it's losing a sense of you. Like, you could protect yourself from monsters, but you can't protect yourself from yourself. If yourself isn't cooperating, isn't playing ball with you, and it's just going to do what it's going to do, then what can you do about it? You can't, because you're not you. And that's what's so scary about it, and that's what's so great about this season. And basically all the seasons. I mean, they kind of play off of the psychological angle. That's the theme of all of these. But anyway, not to get too off track. Now, another thing that I was thinking about here was the pregnant mom comes to try to get Zoe to join the family. And when she does, we see that she's very, very pregnant in the scene. And we also see there are multiple deformed kids in this as well. And my thought was, are they continuing to keep trying to have babies to replace the kids that they lost? And they keep coming out deformed. So they are trying to recruit and steal new kids for the family. Like, they're trying to build a family up because they haven't been able to replace what they lost. When I saw all those multiple kids and I saw her pregnant, I was like, that would make sense that she's getting pregnant and they're coming out these little demon spawn things, and they want true kids to have a family with and to pass the legacy on with. Which, of course, brings me to my next question is, where is that kid from episode 2 or 1? Yeah, 1 that went missing, and her mom ended up, we find out she's dead, or at least she's missing an arm. I guess that doesn't mean she's 100% sure dead. I'm guessing that was just her body laid out across the table. That's more than likely her, but we are only 100% positive that this was her arm on the table. But where's that kid? Did that kid turn into one of those deformed kids? Like, are those not the births? Like, has that girl just been pregnant since the 50s and her ghost just remains pregnant forever? Or is she actually giving birth? Or do they abduct kids and they become like that because they are cannibals and they start to become deformed? Hills Have Eyes style? Like, I don't know. So that's a whole interesting thing. I'm really curious. I don't feel like Channel Zero gives you a ton of answers, though, so I'm not sure I'm ever going to get the answers that I'm looking for. But yeah, lots of cool questions being raised here. And yeah, I think that's it. heavily look forward to the next episode, and I definitely look forward to the thoughts of you guys who are watching this to point out how right or wrong I am. So go ahead. I got to get to work. All right, guys.